Now let us talk about semantic representation. So in the previous lecture, we have seen what is deep semantic parsing and what is shallow semantic parsing, and which each parsing is used in NLP shallow semantic parsing. And because it is not complex, it is adaptable in different domains. It is simple. So in NLP, we'll be using shallow semantic parsing. So how we can represent this semantic structure? So in wider sense, semantic parsing is a part of a process known as semantic interpretation. How we can interpret given input. So this process of semantic interpretation, it makes that representation will be useful for manipulation by the computer. What manipulation it will do? It will use search, it will analyze the things, and it will run queries on that. So the foundation for this semantic interpretation is can be traced back to our father of NLP linguistics called Noam Chomsky, a towering personality in the field of natural language processing. Not only natural language processing, all the related language processing areas such as information retrieval. Then what else we have? Information uh, retrieval systems. Then uh, natural language processing, and what else we have? Speech recognition. All these are different areas of language processing, and Noam Chomsky is a fatherly figure in all these aspects because of his proposition of transformational phrase structure grammar. So he laid the foundation to understand how humans combine different words to understand the meaning. But it is only a grammar. He didn't account for the meaning of the sentence. He just proposed grammar. If you remember, in the previous chapter, we talked about four types of grammar: unrestricted grammar, context sensitive grammar, context free grammar, which we used for syntactical parsing of natural language, then restricted regular grammar. Now, but in the grammar, we never talked about the meaning. So, in 1963, Cords and Fodder, the both of them have identified this limitation of that Chomsky didn't consider the meaning. So, they proposed a theory called a semantic theory within this grammar paradigm. So semantic theory, it was it is proposed in 1963 by the paper published by Cords and Fodder, and the title is Structure of Semantic Theory. Now, let us summarize the important properties of semantic theory. Number one, a semantic theory should explain the sentences which are having ambiguous meanings. So it should be able to explain the sentences with multiple interpretation. For example, as I told you about the light weight, the luggage is light. In that, I mean light means less weight. When I say the light is very bright, I'm talking about the sunlight or this one. And if you remember, we talked about word sense disambiguation in the previous also. Words, same spelling, same pronunciation, giving different meaning in the different context. Now, taking the textbook example, suppose I say the bill is large. Here, bill means whenever we go to restaurant, we have to pay the bill, and the bill will be given to us, and we have to pay it. That is monetary invoice. That is a bill. But the bill word has another meaning, the beak of a bird, the nose of a bird. So, the first property of semantic theory is that it should explain the sentences with multiple meaning or multiple interpretation. Number two, it should resolve the ambiguity of words in the context. Based on the context, what is context? Neighboring, surroundings, what is the occasion? For example, if I say uh, the luggage is light, when I say about luggage, I'm not talking about electrical light, I'm not talking about sunlight, I'm not talking about not serious. The luggage will should tell me that I'm talking about weight. So the luggage is light means in that sentence light means less weight. Similarly here, if I say the bill is large but need not be paid, when we talk about payment, we should understand that the bill here is not big, but it is talking about money. That is the second. First, what is the first one? It should interpret the sentence, explain the sentences with multiple interpretations. Number two, it should resolve ambiguity of words based on the context. Number three, sometimes some sentences will be grammatically, syntactically very well formed and correct. But when we talk about meaning, there will not be absolutely no meaning for the sentence. For example, Noam Chomsky has coined this sentence, which is very syntactically correct. Colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Now, here this sentence has a subject, has a verb, has an adjective, a noun, and grammatically it is absolutely correct. There is nothing wrong. It is syntactically valid. But when we talk about meaning, there is no colorless green. It is something like blackish white or whitish black, longest short, shortest long. So these are contradicting. So this sentence has no meaning. So our semantic theory, when we propose, it should be able to identify syntactically correct but semantically meaningless nonsense sentence. That is the third. Number four, sometimes two different sentences they may convey the same meaning, the same meaning they will convey. For example, John gave a Mary a book. That is syntactically correct, semantically correct. Mary received a book from John. That is also syntactically correct, semantically correct. But the problem is, both the sentences, though they are syntactically vary, semantically vary, but they are conveying the same meaning. So, semantic theory should identify the unrelated paraphrases of a concept having the same semantic content. So, to have a structured semantic representation, what we have seen just now, four properties of semantic theory. Number one, semantic theory should explain sentences having ambiguous representation or interpretation. Number two, it should resolve the ambiguities based on the context. Number three, some sentences may be syntactically correct, but semantically they may be nonsense. It should identify such sentences. Number four, some sentences they may be syntactically, semantically correct, different, but they may convey the same meaning. So it should identify the such type of thing. So if you want to develop a semantic representation, this type of representation, which will do all these things, What we need the first one, lexical analysis or morphological analysis. Then we need to disambiguate. We should resolve the ambiguity, confusion based on the context. Then we should represent the given input in the logical representation, and it should recognize the paraphrase. First one, to explain the ambiguity, we need lexical analysis. To resolve the ambiguity based on the context, we need contextual disambiguation. The third one, to understand the syntactically correct, semantically no meaning sentences, we need logical representation. And to understand different paraphrases, we need paraphrase recognition. So these four are the important properties of semantic theory.